Hi there, everybody. Today we're going to talk about our big project for the school year. So what we'll be doing is we're working on collaborative curriculum. And what that is, it's a fusion to find meaning and support student success. So what I've seen from you these past couple of years is some wonderful work in your PLCs. I've seen some incredible collaboration between you and your department members. But I think we could go even further than that. I think we could collaborate in cross-content areas in order to further student success, in order to get them thinking even deeper on all the things that you teach them. So, Raga has a quote discussing this idea. He says, "It is important to remember that academic subjects were developed to discover knowledge, not to disseminate it." And he goes on to say that basically when we separate our content areas, which is a typical educational practice, has been happening since well before all of us were even born, what happens is students aren't able to necessarily move beyond what is learned in each particular content area, and they focus just on each one individually. And I'd like to change that for the sake of students. So why we're doing this? Well, we skipped one. So here's why we're doing this. So there's a horizontal curriculum model that Raga discusses, and he suggests that this horizontal curriculum, where we look not just from up and down, like ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th grade social studies, not just in that vertical realm, but in horizontally. So we look in one particular grade level, say, for example, 10th grade, where we look at 10th grade curriculum um, on a scale of each individual content area and blend them together. And he says that that provides a profound effect on learners and their way of thinking. He says that that experience that students have helps them to integrate these different ideas across these content areas to have a deeper understanding of them, and also helps to prepare them for their futures as well, and understanding how connections can be made with different ideas. And so, I side will work here. The what exactly we'll be doing. So this is a correlated curriculum. In other words, your subjects will remain separate. So you'll be working with another teacher of a different department, of a different focus, of a different content area, and you will still teach separately. Unless you choose to teach together, that can be your own choice, but you still have your separate classes. But the students will explore connections between your different content areas. This might be one lesson, this might be one project, this might be one unit. It's totally up to you how you want to set this up, but you will have students explore the connections between your different content areas. And because of that, it'll be complementary of both subjects. You'll get to emphasize the wonderful aspects of each particular subject while still focusing on the individuality between them. So for example, let's say in history class we're learning about the industrial era in the 19th century, and at the same time in language arts they are reading about different types of writing from this particular period in order to further enhance their understanding of that era and how the writings reflect that era as well. So I'll give you another example here coming up as to how we'll put this all together, but that's just one idea as to how we can do that. So here's how we're going to put this together. We'll create a few thinking maps. I know you've had a few good experiences with thinking maps, so I'm going to keep pushing you to keep working with those. So with some individual work, I'll have you work on two different maps. We'll make a circle map to start, and then we'll make a bubble map to get us thinking a little bit deeper so we can kind of help define our content area for your colleague. And then we'll do some collaborative work where you'll create one map together, you'll do compare contrast, and then you'll create a plan of action. And I'll show you then how this process will look. So to start, we'll have a circle map. So you will create this all on your own. So you'll talk about your particular class period, all the aspects of your particular class, just to get you thinking about everything that is involved in it. Next, I'll have you do a bubble map. In this particular case, you'll still have your class in the middle, but of course you'll use adjectives in order to describe your particular class. And like I said, this will help you explain your class to your colleagues to have a better understanding of what goes on within it. And then you and your colleague will get together and you will create this map together, your compare and contrast map. And in this map, what I want you to do is I want you to compare all the aspects from, say, your circle map. And I want you to find some of those similarities between your classes and even some of the differences to really understand how different your classes are, and yet those connections that you can make despite the difference of your classes. So let me show you an example of what this could look like. So I'm a former English teacher, so here is what I came up with. So here are a few different aspects of an English class, my particular English class, things that I've done, things that are connected to my class, just a general brainstorm of your typical English class. Next, I came up with some adjectives to describe my particular class. This will help me in having a conversation with my colleague about what we do and what it's all about, and kind of just what my classroom is like. And then I'm going to meet with another teacher, say a science teacher, and we're going to discover, oh, hey, if we look at our circle maps, we'll notice that we have a few different similarities. We both do writing, we both do reading, we both have presentations. We might have a few differences, but maybe we can use those differences to help benefit us in different ways. We can find out how that works. But maybe let's say we find something that really works in terms of a presentation. English class, I can focus on um, all the presentational qualities. So science class doesn't have to focus on what are the qualities of a presentation. They can just set forth the expectation of giving a presentation, while the English class supports that. So that might be a way in which me and the science teacher can work together in order to create something collaboratively. Here is the process that I want to put you through. So we're going to start today with step 1, where we assess the maps. So we'll share maps 1 and 2, create map 3, and then assess those commonalities. We will then get into step 2, where we will share our future work, assignments, etc., determine appropriate crossover items. So we'll kind of make that plan of action for our collaboration, and that will help get us started on this particular process. And in the future, I'm thinking probably 1 or so month from now, we'll get together. We'll set up a time to create. We'll hold ourselves accountable. I want to make sure that we put this together at least within the next month or 2, and we can talk more about that specifically with our one-on-ones. And then we'll get into implementing our cross-content curriculum, making sure that we are working independently, making sure we're working together, and then we'll reflect on the practice. And this should take probably a process by the end of the trimester. So in the next 3 to 4 months or so is the whole process of this. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But before we move into this particular process, make sure to remember, this will work with me, make sure to go forth, do some good for our students, and have some fun with what you do. Make sure to ask some questions and make sure that you do what's best for students. Thank you very much for all of your work. Take care.